What's up, everybody? This is the first episode of RC Vape Talk. I went into a little bit of my origin story, for lack of a better term, on how I got started vaping in my last video. Sort of an intro to the channel. Um, Still figuring things out, just bear with me. Today I wanted to show you my basic setup and explain some of the things that I prefer. I have heard a lot about the new stainless steel and titanium temperature control coils. Haven't got a chance to try any yet. Had a little bit of job loss, so I will get to some reviews. Bear with me. What I'm using right now, my current setup, is the Wismec Rouleau RX200 by Jabo, and this is a UL Rafale tank on here. I used to use the Crown. With the Rafale, I get just about the same amount of flavor, but much more vapor and much more airflow. It's just very, very smooth if you listen to it. And what I'm vaping in here, I believe, is 7030 VG mix. It's by Entourage Vapors. It's called Ninja Man. I couldn't find any reviews anywhere on it, but it's supposed to be a chocolate milk type flavor. It's not exactly there, but it's got a chocolatey mocha Kahlua type flavor to it, and it's really surprisingly good. It was only $25 for a 60 ml bottle, which here in Columbus, at least, is pretty damn good. My usual go-to vape is something called Dragon's Cloud by Shijin Vapor. It's sort of like a cinnamon roll, vanilla ice cream type thing, but here we go. Here's my current setup. Now I'm vaping this in temperature control mode at about 550 degrees at 75 watts. Any more wattage, it starts to take on a different flavor profile, and I don't really like it. I'm just making up terms. I really don't know what this means. It seems to be a little bit sweeter the higher wattage I go. I'm not sure I like that yet, but it is interesting. Now, I do have a few other devices here with me. This is my Velocity RDA clone, which actually is currently broken. I do have a dual twisted 24 gauge build in here. It ohms out to about 0.6, 0.7 ohms. I think I might have wrapped one side too many times, but it's currently broken. One of the screws got wedged all the way in, and I cannot get it out, and I'm afraid I'm going to strip it. So this is going to be going away, especially with the new V2 coming out. The other thing I wanted to bring attention to, even though it can be kind of a pain in the ass to wick, is this. This is the Alpha Omega BFT RTA. It holds 10 mils of juice. The flavor on it is amazing, just like the Velocity. And it also has a Velocity style deck on it right now. It's very easy to build on. You just got to make sure you have room to clear this right here so that your coils aren't touching the sides. The biggest pain is really wicking it, because you've got these holes down here. But you really have to shove the cotton down in. Don't be afraid to force it up in there, because you do not want any gaps right here. See if I can get it close up. There are gaps right down here that you really need to get the cotton in. Otherwise you will have some leaking, and you've got to build up a vacuum in it too. It can be kind of a pain, but it is fun to learn new things. I like a little bit of a challenge. So that's my current setup and what's going on. My wife has the same setup, the Rouleau and the Rafale. We're looking at getting some of the new Rouleaus that are coming out, the RX200S, soon. It's basically the same thing. It's just got a little bigger screen. Of course, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. I'd like to finish up, if I can, by talking about how I started. I started with just, your basic blue e-cig, and I did not have a good experience. My blue completely crapped out on me. I sent it in under warranty. They sent it back without doing a single thing. So I then moved on to the Views, and while it was better than the blue, it was really, really harsh on my throat. Mark 10 was good. It wasn't giving me enough. So I put it away and I went back to smoking. Then I went to the aforementioned hospital stay from my last video. They heard me cough once. That was enough to sort of scare me when they wanted to chest x-ray me just by hearing me cough. That day, I went out and I got a little ego with, I honestly, I can't even remember what kind of tank I had. It was by Smock Tech. Both of them were. I believe it was the Smock Tech Sid was the mod, and the tank, I honestly can't remember. It was some sort of 510 cartomizer. For about a month, I quit smoking cold turkey. And then a friend of mine started telling me about sub-ohm vaping. They had a they had a Twisted Messes clone dripper on their mech mod. I didn't want to start out with anything like that. I'm still learning. So regulated mods are pretty much it for me. I don't have any interest in mech mods yet. Possibly in the future, once I keep learning, we'll see. When I got, and it's the same thing with the dripper. I didn't feel comfortable trying to build my own coils, so I just went out and I got the Kanger Sue box. That's what I started with. And it was okay. It's just a one battery mod. I'm having to switch out a lot because I am a 2-pack a day smoker, so I was pretty much chain vaping when I started. I switched after the sub box. I went to a IPv4S. I cannot honestly remember who makes that right now. I would have to look it up, and I don't have any of my research materials with me. That lasted a long time. As a matter of fact, it finally only crapped out on me just last week. One of the connections for the battery moved and sunk down inside, and I'm just not willing to try to disassemble it. But I've pretty much moved full-time to the rouleau. It's a 3-battery mod, so it can get kind of expensive getting batteries because you do have to buy them in sets. However, I get all-day battery life. It's really great. There is occasionally an issue with it where I see that it won't detect the atomizer. I've tried about everything I can think of. It's just something I have to deal with. But I get good battery life. Doesn't seem to be a lot of ramp-up time even when you're in wattage mode. And it does currently on the latest updatable firmware support wattage mode, stainless steel temperature control, nickel temperature control, titanium temperature control, and TCR mode, which is yet another thing that seems to be relatively new. I'm not experienced with it yet. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. If anybody knows what exactly the purpose is and what to do, go ahead and drop a comment down in the comments section. So that's my current situation. There'll be more to come, but not too bad for a first show, if I say so myself. Not that my word carries any meaning, but just keep sticking with me, and we'll get something going. Thanks for stopping by. See you later. Peace.